Well, hello, friends. Happy weekend to you. Hope you're doing very, very well. Coming to you from the great outdoors here in our prayer garden. Beautiful, beautiful day as I record this. Just wanted to spend a couple minutes with you, reminding you of two very, very important things that I want to make sure that you hear very clearly from me about and hear the invitation from my heart to yours. And then talk a little bit about worship. First, let's talk about the opportunity that we have before us. It's going to be a 4-session opportunity. You want to call it a program, we can call it a program. You can call it a seminar. I don't really care what you call it. I just need you to take seriously invitation to be with us beginning September the 13th at 8:30 a.m. For 4 weeks. We're going to be experiencing something called Faith Worth Sharing, because we believe so very deeply that we are called to be an evangelical people. We have good news to share. We are called to bring that good news to our friends and our neighbors and our coworkers and our families. And in many ways, we're scared about that. In many ways, we've let others take that practice and they've turned it into something that can be awkward, can be painful, can be hurtful. And we're not here to bash all that, but I'm here to tell you that as your pastor, I think it's very, very meaningful that we spend 4 weeks together so that we can know better our faith, how we can articulate our faith, and how we can understand our lived faith, especially in our tradition, our theological tradition, and how we do that in a faithful way. That's faithful both to the gospel itself, but faithful to our neighbors, faithful to ourselves and our own experiences, okay? Please, please, please hear me. So important. We need more of you there, okay? Go to spocala.org/small-groups. Please sign up. We need to know that as soon as possible. We have a small book that we're going to give you that will help kind of lead and guide you through this process. It's not a cumbersome read. It's actually going to be very, very beneficial for you. And we need to know that you're coming so we can order you one of those, okay? So please don't wait. Pause the video. Forget the rest of it if you need to. Go sign up for that right now. Also, this Sunday, right after we conclude worship, you are all invited to come to the fellowship hall because we're building a new team, right? We share responsibility here and need you to plug in. This is a very specific team, okay? This team we're calling it the neighborhood team because we know that we are called to love and serve our neighbors, that we don't just exist on these 11 acres and that people are just going to flock to us, right? That's not the gospel. But we want to love and serve our neighbors. How are we creating opportunities to know and love others? How are we thinking about particular events that are very traditional for us here and that our community depend on and want to come to our campus, like Trunk or Treat? How do we think about those events and not changing them per se, but how do we think about utilizing them even more to meet the needs and to know our neighbors, to meet them where they are, to love them? And so this is going to be part think tank, part facilitation, part long-term planning. It's going to be a little bit of all of that. So it doesn't matter what type of gifts you have, we need your gifts there. If that's something that interests you about how we utilize what God has given us to love and serve and to know our neighbors with no other agenda but to love and serve them, okay? Please come. I'm going to have drinks there for you if you want to pack a lunch and bring a lunch or bring a snack to tide you over till you can get home. That's fine too. Or if you just want to fast for a little bit longer with me, that way you can grab a bite after our meeting. That's fine too. I hope that you will come this Sunday right after worship. That's August the 30th. Now for worship, we'll continue in our series Under Construction. We've been looking at particular really important foundational things that either we've inherited from this expression of church that we need to be reminded of, that we need to dust off, that we need to better engage, or maybe perhaps there's some things that we need to just we need to reconstruct. We need to knock some walls over and we need to open things up. We're using this image for us to understand that we are still a people under construction, right? God has given us so much. The saints that have gone before us have gifted us a beautiful structure and beautiful foundations of what it means to live as the body of Christ. But that doesn't mean we have to sit on our hands. We still are called to be engaging with this work. We've talked about joy. What does it mean to be a people of joy? To reclaim that joy. We've talked about what it means to learn to accept others the way that God accepts them. meeting people on God's terms and not our own terms, and kind of the struggle of that, right? Last week we talked about healing and being a place of healing. We were reminded that if we truly believe that God is healing us and doing something in us, we are responsible to create environments and create places where people can find refuge, because that's really important. People are not going to find the healing that God offers them unless we, as the body of Christ, give them refuge from the world so they can find what they're looking for. Well, this week we push in a little bit deeper. We're going to be talking very purposely about what it means to, I want to get this right, what it means to live together as family in a way that Jesus invites us to. I want to get that, I wanted to slow down and get that correctly, because the text that's going to serve as our backdrop is one in which Jesus expands the understanding of family beyond his nuclear family. He wasn't angry, he wasn't dismissive, but he expanded the spiritual family to be more than just his mother and his brothers, those in which he shared that deep sense of familial connection to. He says that the family, that his brothers and sisters and mother are the ones that are engaged in seeking after God's will. It opens up a whole lot of questions. It was very disorienting to those that received that word in Mark's gospel, and it's disorienting to us as well. But there's something beautiful underneath the surface that opens us up to understanding that there is something beautiful happening with all of us that bear God's image. And we, as a people, need to wrestle with that. We need to understand better what it means to love and see all of humanity, even the people that we could give labels to and we see nothing but evil from. What does it mean for us that Jesus calls us out of our safe places to understand that what God is doing in the world is an engagement and an invitation for all of God's children to be engaged in seeking after God's will? What does that mean for us? How do we see family a little bit differently? Not to be dismissive of our nuclear families, please hear me, but that God is up to something even bigger than that. What does that mean for us as a church? These are important questions. You may not like all the answers, but that's what faith is, right? It's moving into these places that stretch us and deepen us and widen us more into God's grace. All right? I hope you'll be with us as we continue to construct this thing together, right? Building upon what has been given to us. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful foundations. Lots and lots of history, lots and lots of witness. But seeking God's future. All right? We'll be here at 10:30 a.m. Sunday morning. I pray that you will as well. If you can't make it, you want to stay connected, please look us up on our Facebook page, where we'll have a live stream for you, as well as our YouTube channel, if you'd rather find it there. All right. You can also find that at spocala.org/worship on Sunday morning. That link will take you straight to our our YouTube channel if you're having a hard time getting there. All right. Grace and peace to you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.